Hello fellow Triumph Tiger fans. Wanted to create a short video regarding a serious failure I've had with Hepco and Becker upper tank protection bars on my 2020 Triumph Tiger Rally Pro. This is a friendly warning to anyone who has these bars installed or is considering purchasing these bars from Hepco and Becker. A little history: these were installed per Hepco and Becker's instructions about 6 months ago. Loctite was used, and the tightness of the mounting hardware was checked a couple of times after on and off-road rides were put on the bike. After 4 months of use, I discovered both right and left main mounting bolts, which tie the bars to the front engine mount, had broken off in the frame. This means that there was no front engine mount support for however long the bolts were broken until discovered. These broken off bolts had to be removed with an easy out extractor. Fortunately, no frame damage or thread damage in getting those out. A scary moment for sure. These longer mounting bolts, which were supplied by Hepco and Becker, along with about 1.5 inch spacers, are marked 8.8 metric. It is unknown how the quality of these bolts compared to the OEM hardware. An 8.8 metric is roughly compared to a grade 5. It's also important to note at this time that H&B do not supply torque specs for this installation. I've linked the installation instructions below for your reference. In my opinion, it is negligent to not provide torque specs for a critical engine mounting point, especially considering the rougher off-roading nature of the bike they are installed on. Also to note, the bike was not dropped on the upper tank protection bars, and there was no impact to them to possibly cause the bolt breakage. This happened from simply riding off-road trails. The bolt locations for these are on both sides of the motor right here. Right now I have the OEM hardware back in place because I've removed the Hepco and Becker upper tank protection bars that you see here. I have contacted a retailer who has stated they are in touch with Hepco and Becker regarding this failure. I sent one of the bolts to the retailer to have analyzed. It's been about a month and a half, and now I'm told it's too expensive to have the bolt analyzed, and perhaps Hepco and Becker will do it. It feels like I'm getting the runaround. In conversations with the retailer, I keep hearing the accusation that the bolts were over-tightened. This is not the case. I have over 40 years of mechanical experience working on classic cars, modern cars, and motorcycles. I have never broken a bolt and never over-tightened a bolt. I've never had an important load-bearing aftermarket bolt break, not to mention 2 of the same bolts as has happened here. Needless to say, the over-tightened claim is not sitting well with me. In the time since I purchased these bars, Hepco and Becker have now come out with a redesigned set of upper tank protection bars for the 900, now called Solid. These solid upper tank protection bars have more mounting points. So does this mean that the original design is flawed? Who knows? Surprisingly, they still do not provide any torque specs for either models of tank protection bars that they provide for the Tiger 900. I'll post updates in the comments below as they come in. Appreciate you listening to this video. Just wanted to share it with anybody else who owns these or is considering purchasing these. Stay safe out there, my fellow adventurers.